We are live.
Senate appropriation, May 12th, back to bills. This is 937 miscellaneous judicial procedures. I have much counsel here to tell us what fiscal impact this bill have, if any.
Good afternoon. For the record, Michelle Child, Office of Legislative Counsel, and I'm going to hit the highlights, the money pieces in here. So miscellaneous judiciary, I think most of you know, because everybody's been around the building for a while, is kind of there's this one bill. Senator Sears started this decades ago, where we kind of have a little hodgepodge. We get recommendations from Vermont Bar Association, from the judiciary, from practicing attorneys. It's kind of like our technical correction bill, but also when there's small tweaks usually to make, there's generally an agreement between the two bodies not to be putting in big, hefty, controversial, big changes to the law. Sometimes it goes over a lot, it gets into that a little more, but generally they're small tweaks. And so there are three different areas that kind of raise the issue of a potential fiscal impact. The first one is as passed by the House, which would still be Section 2, because Senate Judiciary is just recommending a few small technical tweaks and then adding a few more sections to the bill for the House proposal. And so there is one provision in Section 2 that has to do with underage alcohol or cannabis possession. And for those underage possession charges, those kids are sent to diversion program. If they don't successfully complete diversion, or if they fail to contact the diversion program, it results in a license suspension for their driver's license.
Is that even if they haven't gotten it yet? Like, does it prevent them making it?
No, although that would be really, I don't know how they do if it's close or something like that, but
But for 15, they can still get it at 16.
I don't know if it would be a question of DMV. But if they have a driver's license, it is suspended for a certain period, for a set period of time that's in statute. What this provision does in Section 2 is does at the end of that period, it's an automatic reinstatement. So that rather than them having to go, so that period has expired. So rather than having to go to the DMV and then pay a fee. And I think that Logan has provided you with a fiscal note on that. And I think the loss of some it's I won't steal his thunder. I'm talking about it. It's very small. It's around $3,000. The next sections came over from the House, but they were added as a floor amendment. There's 10 sections at the end of the House's version having to do with the expansion of the rapid accountability docket. So the Chittenden County program, looking at how to extend that statewide on a rolling basis with the various players, because it's folks from the executive branch, it's folks from the judicial branch. And so there was an outline for how they do that. And again, since Logan's here, I'll let him talk to you about it, but there is something in the budget for those programs for $500,000. So there's no separate appropriation in here.
But didn't we have some money for the accountability project?
The VA.
Goes in the VA. Supposed to go through this for this, and we didn't do it.
And then the next one is, and this was something that was added by your Senate Judiciary Committee at the request of Vermont Legal Aid. So in 2023, the General Assembly passed an act creating the tenant representation pilot project. And that was contingent on funds being appropriated for FY24. They were not appropriated for FY24. They were subsequently appropriated in the next year. And so it had a starting date of November of 24. And so we did some tweaks to that original act language, accommodating for kind of the late start to the program. And then you also have one section in there that is carry forward language with regard to the appropriation that was made in 2024.
Or legally. So that's so they can just keep carrying the money until they spend it all.
Yes.
Seems pretty straightforward. Maybe, so we didn't have any money for the accountability courts? Maybe they just thought we had money that would carry it forward.
Yeah, I believe that the living room to breakfast office, my understanding is that the 500,000 funds from the DAA is expected to be carried forward and used in 27.
Got any questions about page 937? How many sections are there? Is it a long bill or like 40 pages?
About 50 pages. Summary.
Well, this one is pretty short. Other than that, if the bill is estimated to have a de minimis fiscal impact, it's right there in the highlight, the call out box. Other than the $8,000 transportation. That's the only.
I saw money on that.
That's not even good bottle.
Right. Logan in the morning was telling us about how little money the transportation fund is in the afternoon. He's taking it away.
Yeah, but 8,000, that's not even a good job.
No, yeah.
Well, I do have a question for Logan. The carry forward money for reversion for the legal aid, was that like a little over $400,000 or the original 1.2? And they, instead of having two counties, they made it to be used statewide. That's the same thing we're talking about here.
Sounds correct me. I do have the days. I think I have the exact, but it was the 1.025 million originally, and then they spent it down over 2 years. And I think this next year will be the last year, but then the expansion to the other counties, things like that.
What is the process of legal aid?
That's the section 39. No, sorry, it's section 40E.
What is the program that legal aid is doing?
Oh, geez.
No data on. I mean,
I don't know.
Michelle,
I know on the details of that program.
What is the program that,
The program, let me pull up the language.
what is it, involve victims? It's the tenant support.
I don't know if I have it in here, but
It was something related to tenants.
yes. So if you look at, do you guys have a copy of the Senate Judiciary Amendment?
I do on our website.
So, it's, if anybody's following along, wants to follow along, it's, section 40E that's being added to the bill. So it was, as I mentioned, it was in 2023, and legal aid is to create and administer a 2-year tenant representation pilot project to provide full representation to eligible consenting tenants. And as originally enacted, it was for Lamoille and Windsor counties only. So one of the things that the underlying language is doing through this amendment is expanding it statewide, so it could be used in any counties. And it's for those consenting tenants who have been served with a summons and complaint for eviction, and to determine the impact of representation on issuance of writs of possessions and homeless prevention.
Sounds good. Any other questions? Compliments to the Judiciary Committee for their work.
Thanks for spending your money.
Really
There we go.
appropriated. Was
I'm
already there.
keeping an eagle eye about Anvil.
Was already there. For Lamoille County.
You're spending our
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, it's good that we're spreading it around for a while and get it on. It was a Norris deal from the beginning.
He just wants his cut.
Well, that is the most famous quote. Who, do you need to write who's moving, who made the movie? Do I? Is that the form? I can't remember if that form.
No.
So it doesn't matter. But
I
somebody
made
does.
the motion.
Okay.
Okay, Senator Baruth,
Yes.
Senator Brennan, Senator Lyon,
Yes.
Senator Norris. Yes. Senator Watson.
Yes.
Senator Westman. Senator.
Yeah. Like somebody on judiciary should be there reporting.
Senator Norris. Oh, that's right, you're on there.
You missed.
I second Bob's nomination.
Agreed.
That's pulling rank on me here.
That's a favor.
Hold on.